Welcome to Dualshock'd, the Brotherhood of Geeks PlayStation podcast. I am one of your hosts, Brett J. Rasmussen, and over here I got my other co-host.
What?
I got my other co-host.
Spector, yep.
Yeah! What's up, man?
How's it
going
going?
On, Spector?
Well...
Ah!
Not
you kind of like all of my like energy just you went
just evaporated, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, how you been doing?
Good. Been doing good.
Have you been playing any games, or you just been talking about it?
No, I've been playing games. I have been playing. I've been going back on my platinum run of Darksiders 2. I
saw you playing that quite a bit. That's a long platinum, right?
Yeah, it's not hard, but it's long. So it's one of those things where I want to platinum Darksiders 2 before I go for my platinum run of Darksiders 3. So there's that. I know I was playing. What was I playing? Oh, I've been playing a lot of Smash Brothers. I'm playing a lot of Smash Brothers. Ooh, man. Oh, God.
Fantastic. I hear the online is pretty shaky, but
yeah.
I just it's a game you play it with your friends.
Oh, like
it's
and like the adventure mode. Like for me, I've been like diving so much time into it because I've been I played adventure mode to unlock all the characters. Because I thought it would be way more fun to do that. I know I could have just done do classic mode or arcade mode over and over.
I actually
again.
did the exact opposite. My cousin and I, because we played the game like constantly when we were kids and everything. We played the N64 version. That was probably before you were born.
You're funny. No, I was there.
But that's we were like, well, you can unlock all the characters just doing regular, melee fights. So I mean, we've been doing that and just been having a blast with it. I mean, it's just like every stage is in the game, every character is in the game that's ever been there. It's just really fantastic. Like the only flaw I hear is the online, but I haven't tried it yet.
I mean, I haven't tried it myself. I played a little bit of online, but I haven't seen it. I've only I've only played maybe one or two matches online. But I've heard that the online is a bit shaky. Who do you main anyway? Who do you main in Smash?
Well, I tend to gravitate more towards the heavier characters like Bowser. Characters that aren't necessarily very high in tier level. Mm-hmm. I want to try K. Rool, but I mean we played it for one night. We didn't unlock K. Rool yet. Mm-hmm. But I think that's gonna be a character that I will probably main. He's actually pretty high in the preliminary tier list.
What I've been told is that he's ridiculously broken. I've tried playing as King K. Rool, and for me, maybe it's just me, but for me, I'm just going he's too slow. He's too slow in order for me to hit enough damage on him. But what I've been told is what makes him broken is that his, I think it's his standard B or whatever. It's when he pulls out his cannon, you can suck up your enemy and then launch them out. And you can go ahead and suck them up, and then if you don't, you just shoot out a cannon. His counter is ridiculous, and I think there's super armor or something. A lot of his moves have super armor on it or hyper armor, whatever it would be called. So you can't interrupt his moves.
I'll be checking him out. I mean, we play it pretty casually. I kind of don't like the competitive scene for Smash Brothers all that much. Not to get off on a rant.
No, that's fine.
I kind of because I think it becomes a thing where there's maybe 4 or 5 viable characters, mm-hmm. and then you have this huge. It goes kind of against the spirit of the game where it was you have this huge cast of characters, but you boil it down to 4 or 5 that are actually S tier, super competitive. And whenever you're playing in these tournaments, which I've done some of these tournaments a little bit before, they always turn the items off. They always pick the most boring fucking stage, and
it's the
Final Destination or Battlefield, and it's just I get it. The items are kind of an RNG element, but the items can actually be the difference between a lower tier character having a chance against a higher tier character. So I kind of like that. I like the craziness that the items provide to the battlefield, and I think they've kind of balanced things to some degree, at least from what I've seen with the final smashes and stuff. So I don't know. I guess I have a different philosophy on the game, and I think that it's actually more in line with what the creators intended, because the creators never really intended the game to be this ultra competitive, elite,
Now,
fighting
like,
game.
it's part of, like, when you go to Evo, one of the games people are competing in is
Yeah,
Smash.
I mean, it's this. I mean, if you want something like that, go play something else. I mean, I like things more like, like Tekken for that kind of more try-hardy stuff. I don't know. Smash Brothers always was more, I guess, lighthearted and was supposed to be fun.
I think that's, like, I know, like, we're going a little bit off tangent, but it's a fun game. But, like, Smash has that, like, fantastic balance between casual and competitive, and I think that's one of the things that, like, PlayStation All-Stars from way back in the day, because that was just a Smash clone. Mind you, it was fantastic, at least in my opinion. With it, with PlayStation All-Stars, it was more casual, because you played as other characters, and mind you, there were characters that were way more broke than other characters.
Oh, I remember that.
So there really wasn't balance, where with, like, now, when I'm playing Smash Ultimate on my Switch, like, the people I've been maining is Ganondorf, Bowser, and I've been playing Fox since the N64 days. So, Fox. I love Fox.
So you kind of like some of the heavier characters too,
Actually, like, before this, so, like, I played Melee and Brawl and the Wii U Smash Brothers, and normally I like fast characters. So I've played Sonic, I've played Marth, I've played, I like faster characters, and that's how I normally like my fighting games. Like in Injustice, I main the Flash. In Soul Calibur, I like Zhenghua or Raphael. In Tekken, it's Bob. He's kind of more of a rushdown character, so he's not like fast, so he's not hitting a lot, but he's a rushdown character, so he's meant to punish you in Tekken. But I'm so, like, for me, I was surprised with how much I liked Bowser and Ganondorf, but, like, one of my friends, my roommate, was like, "Oh, heavy boys, them heavy boys," and I'm like,
I was gonna say, there's a common theme here with Bob and these other characters that I can see why you gravitate.
"Oh, yeah. I know, because
but yeah,
heavy boys."
Well, to kind of get back towards a PlayStation game on a PlayStation podcast here.
Yeah, I know.
I have been, in terms of what I've been playing, thanks for asking.
Oh, what have you been playing, Spector?
I finished off now officially, platinumed Fallout 76.
Oh, the game that everyone hates?
The game that everyone hates. Unjustifiably. Everyone hates it. It's, they act like it's... I don't know, but it's like I said, I got the platinum on it now. Mm-hmm. Looking forward to more content, which is supposed to be coming 2019. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, I think I got my money's worth out of it. I'm pretty satisfied with it.
That's good.
Now, just probably going to go on to finally finish off Detroit, get the platinum on that.
Do your platinum run of Detroit.
Yeah, which is like 80% complete. I just need like another 4 or 5 hours.
It's just you have to do the second playthrough.
Yeah, it's like I have to like force myself to do it. Just like, oh, okay, I want to just trade this thing in at this point. Like, I played it, and why am I still talking about this like 5 months later? I'll just get rid of this damn thing so I can go on to other things. But yeah, and then after that, I don't really know what I'm going to play.
No, I get you.
So I'll figure that out from there.
I get you. I mean, mind you, I have a massive backlog of games that I definitely need to play, but it's like I definitely want to just to get Darksiders 2 out of the way for my platinum run, so that way I can go, okay, to this, and then
you feel like you can't really play the Darksiders 3 until you
because like for me it's just one of those things where I want the platinums to kind of like stack. I wish that on the PSN we could alphabetize the freaking trophy list.
Oh god, you make it like you're making it really OCD now.
I mean, I get it, but I get it. It's a little OCD.
I mean, I sort of understand where you're coming from. Like remember, I did that earlier this year with God of War. Where I was like, I have to have every single God of War platinum as possible, even the doubles. Like, because there's 2 of God of War 2 and 2 of God of War 3 and all that stuff. So I sort of get where you're coming from, but I don't need to, I wasn't so crazy to be like, okay, well, I gotta have, God of War 1 and then God of War 2 and then,
No, I get you.
I'm like, okay, I'm just happy having all the plats.
Yeah,
if someone looked at my profile, they could clearly see I'm a God of War fan.
Oh yeah,
so
most definitely.
I'm happy enough with that.
So but I mean, so that's kind of what's been going on. But let's go ahead and get on to the next segment, News of the Nation.
I
This
really need sound effects.
I know. Don't worry. I'll figure it out in post.
I'm gonna find it right now.
Fine.
We're gonna do it live.
No, you don't. No, we're not. We're gonna go on. We're just gonna do it.
Do your thing.
I don't know what you're doing, but anyway. First off, so this is our segment where we have new segments that have come out throughout the week.
I think I found one already.
Oh God, what do you have? There you go. Good job. I'm proud of you, Spector. All right. So, anyway, this is the new segment where we kind of talk about some of the video game news that's been happening throughout the week. It's a little bit small, but we'll kind of begin here. So, first, Marvel's Spider-Man's final DLC is going to be coming out. The third and final DLC for Marvel's Spider-Man comes out on December 21st for $9.99, pretty much $10. It is titled Silver Linings, and the pack is also part of the City That Never Sleeps DLC Season Pass, pretty much. Spider-Man will be without the aid of the NYPD chief Yuri Watanabe and will depend on new and unlikely allies. Silver Linings will feature new missions, enemy types, trophies, challenges, and new suits. The new suits include the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse suit from the movie, Cyborg Spider-Man, and the Aaron Aikman Spider Armor. Also, as a bonus, those who pre-order Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse on the PSN, so those who pre-order the movie, will get this DLC pack, Silver Linings, for free. And this is all from Sony. This is coming from Sony. So, I mean, I know you're not a superhero fan. We've kind of talked about Spider-Man a little bit.
I played the game. I platinumed the game. I thought it was okay for what it was. I mean, even a non-fan like me got some entertainment out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my rule with DLC at this point, my arbitrary rule on it.
Rule.
Yeah. Well, of course, is I only purchase DLC for games that I really enjoy and. I really, got something out of.
Yeah.
I couldn't see myself getting DLC for this. I mean, I platinum game. That's more than enough for me out of this. I'm sure you got the DLC. Though.
Yeah, I did get the City That Never Sleeps pack, which has the last one was called Turf Wars, which is more about Hammerhead.
So how does it work? Is it like a separate thing? Cordoned off from the main story, or is it like, I mean, how does it work?
No, so these 3 DLC packs, these 3 DLC sets, is pretty much, it continues the story after the game ends. So it is after the game ends, and these 3 parts does...
Wait, so you can't play them until you're done with the game?
It's recommended.
Oh, okay.
It's recommend. You can play them after the game.
I was gonna say that's kind of fucked up, but I was like,
no.
You get all this DLC, you can't touch it until you beat the game.
No. You can play. You can go ahead and play these DLC packs, but it happens after these DLC packs happen. These DLC missions packs, whatever, happen after the story. So you can go ahead and start off with the heist, which is the first one. Then it's Turf Wars, and then Silver Lining. But it's all after the story. So, that's why it's recommended to start playing the story, beat the story, and then do that. That's kind of why, they've been coming out every month, if that makes any sense. Because the game came out in September, the heist came out in October, the Turf Wars came out in November, and then this comes out in December. So that's kind of why it is the way it is.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. I've kind of been waiting.
They sure got those out quick, though. I mean, because the game came out in September.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was like boom, boom, boom. They came.
Well, mind you, I think this has been planned since the very beginning. Because, in the way I got my The City That Never Sleeps pack is by getting the collector's edition. So.
Of course you got the collector's edition.
Of course, because gorgeous statue. But, it is definitely worth it. I've been kind of waiting until this comes out so that way I can just play it one after another. That's kind of how I see
what you mean. Yeah.
So that's why I haven't touched the last 2 yet. I haven't.
You just wanted to do them all at once.
Yep, because they're all connected. It's an interconnected story.
Gotcha.
Anything else?
No, that's all my comments.
Okay.
It's
that's fine.
Not my game.
No, I get you. Next, Epic Games announces free cross-platform online...
Cross-porn? What?
I don't know. I have no idea. Epic Games announces free cross-platform online services. This is coming from Epic Games and IGN. Originally built for Fortnite, these services run on 7 different platforms, which would be PC, Mac, iOS, Android, PS4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. The services will be free for all of the developers and is open to all engine platforms and their stores. Developers can choose mix and match solutions from Epic and others as desired. The launch will begin with the Unreal Engine and Unity integrations with a feature set that will grow over the course of 2019. Services include cross-platform login, voice communications, parties, matchmaking, data storages, and more. So pretty much what this is saying, at least to my understanding, is Epic Games is really pushing for other developers to kind of throw stuff in to Fortnite. Hence why they're letting it be free. At least that's how I'm understanding it by hearing this from IGN, and then they got that from Epic Games themselves. So, I mean, it's just because Fortnite is on everything. On your phones, on your consoles, on PC, like literally everything. I don't think there's a thing. There'll probably come a time in the future if Fortnite is still popular, it'll be in your refrigerator and microwave. Like,
yeah, I mean they port it to everything. It's like a Skyrim. You know, it's I think, you know, like I said, for me, I think the fad will pass eventually on it.
Yeah, because like wasn't it like 2 to 3 years ago? It was Overwatch.
Yeah, it was Overwatch, and then it was everybody wanted to play PUBG, and then now everyone wants to play Fortnite, and before that it was, you know, before Overwatch it was that Five Nights at Freddy nonsense. There's these fad games that come out and people go nuts over them. You know, Minecraft was probably the most enduring one. It started off as a fad, but it's still kind of it's still there.
I don't know. I would say like Call of Duty, really. Call of Duty when it first came out, like no one cared.
I think Call of Duty's kind of transcended the fad at this point. It's been around for, you know, over a decade.
Yeah,
you know?
I get you.
So it's I mean, well over a decade at this point. But I mean, you know what I mean. Like there's these games. There's you can call them games that the kids play. You know, they're popular. You know, I mean, it's what they are.
I get you. I agree. You know, I get you.
It's what the Gen Z's playing right now. So
I mean, Fortnite is a fun game. Don't get me wrong. I've tried it. Not my cup of tea, but I can understand. I can see why people like it. It's free. You can play it on anything. It's very accessible. And then like it's the whole. Epic Games have done a really good job of kind of incentivizing you to just buy stuff that doesn't matter. Their outfits and their costumes by going, oh, you can only get this within the next 24 hours or within the next week, and it's only exclusive, and it'll be gone, it will go into the vault, or it'll never exist again. So you have people go ahead and go like, oh, I need to buy it now, I need to buy it. You know,
yeah.
Which, like, I get it, I understand that makes a lot of sense. Even I've been falling prey to that myself. Not in Fortnite, in other games, but like
it's that predatory marketing striking again. That evil marketing.
I mean, at least it's cosmetic, so I mean, like you can choose to, because it doesn't do anything to help you get better at the game. It doesn't do anything to make you better. It's just, hey, look at me looking cool. That's it.
So it's a whatever.
At least I'm glad that it's that. This one I kind of wanted to bring up to you, and you will know more about this than I will. So the next piece of news that I have is that players are unhappy with Fallout 76's ultra-wide mode. Fallout 76's latest patch includes a 21:9 ultra-wide mode. This new mode appears to be nothing but a mod of the INI file, which stretches the normal 16:9 aspect ratio to fit the wider resolution. The latest patch also added a fix to a bug in the Feed the People event quest. Bethesda has said it may drop one more patch by the end of the year. The developer will then focus on content updates in 2019, including more bug fixes. And this also comes from IGN.
Well, I'll say a couple of things. One thing right off the bat here. If these have been the predominant complaints with the most recent patch, that should go to show you that it's been a pretty successful patch. because
Really?
these are two kind of non-issues. One of them is they fixed a bugged quest, which really it was kind of a beneficial bug because it gave.
So care to explain? Because I honestly do have no idea.
Yeah. So there was a when you're playing Fallout 76, like I said, it's always online. There's certain events that pop up in the world that any player can either walk into by themselves, complete solo, or they can just kind of make an ad hoc group and finish together with other people that are in the area too. One of the events that people are bitching about right now, I think I actually did it a couple of times. You basically like repair this like it was like this cannery like factory like like this food production area, and once you completed the event, there was a bug where the event would reward all players on that server, so all 24 or so players with essentially with like a food drop. When food you can use in the game, it's a survival aspect of the game. You need food to, you need to watch your hunger levels and your
this matters.
Your thirst.
So this drop
really.
matters. No?
It's very minorly beneficial.
Okay.
But it was clearly a bug because you're rewarding all these players that didn't even participate in the event. They were contributing to the event, but they got rewarded for it anyways. And some people were saying like, oh well, you should still keep it the way it is because it's the spirit of the event. Blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, that's the biggest complaint you have with the patch. Then it was a pretty good patch. Nothing else was broken in the process. The what's it called? The aspect ratio.
Yeah, the ultra mode.
Ultra mode.
Ultra-wide
I can't really
sorry.
comment on that because I don't play it on PC. I played it on console, PS4. It's kind of a whatever, I guess. I mean, okay.
So let's say, for instance, like, would that even matter? Like, would that even matter? I know you play on console, but let's say you were playing this on PC. Would that actually make you mad that that happened where it's just another feature. It just adds another essentially aspect ratio to the game. I mean, like, is this really what we're complaining about at this point? Like, I mean, for me, like, if I'm going to complain about anything, there's still a damage bug in the game where if you do a certain amount of damage to enemies, they can actually become unkillable. I'm a little bit more concerned about that bug than I am about a stupid event bug, essentially. Because one of them actually makes the game unplayable, and I have to relog and come back into the game. The other one is an event that nobody fucking does anyway. So who cares? Who cares? I guess if you there's I think the people are just looking to bitch about something, and that's what it comes down to. The fact of the matter is, we've had 3 patches now in less than a month. We have probably another one before the end of the year. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much unheard of for a game. I mean, I know the game launched in a kind of a dilapidated state. I acknowledge that, even though I'm a fan of the game. But I mean, you don't really see that with that level of support with any other game. That's pretty good, and they've actually fixed a lot of pressing issues. One of which was infuriating to me, which was the fact that you couldn't achieve the platinum. Yeah. Which I care about trophies. There's a lot of people that care about trophies, and they fixed that with this most recent patch. So so I was able to do that. Yeah, because last time when I was on PlayStation, I was talking to you, and you were like needed some trophy assists from someone within your server.
Oh yeah, I teamed up with someone to get a trophy, and that was basically all I could do after I got the trophy. I'm like, well, I'm kind of done now. Yeah. I can't really do anything.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
The last 2 trophies in the game are glitched. So they fixed that. They also fixed a huge problem with the way camps work in the game. Your personal camp or house, essentially. Yeah. What would happen before this patch is if your camp overlapped another person's camp when you logged into the server, your camp was just automatically packed up and put into your inventory, and you had to reestablish your camp somewhere else, which was really annoying. And when you add on to that the fact that it's very challenging with the way the physics and hook points work in the game to actually even if you have a blueprint of like your little house or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
it's hard to put it down in the world because it always gives you an error like object floating. You can't place the house here, can't place it here. Basically, the only place you can put it is the original place you built it, essentially. So really annoying. But they fixed that now. The game gives you a warning now when you log in. It's happened to me once actually already. It says, hey, your house is overlapping another person on the server. Essentially, it gives you the option to pack it up or just wait until you log into another server and it's right back where it's supposed to be. So it gives a sense of permanence to your house and to your camp. It kind of lets you invest into your camp a little bit more and be like, okay, I actually want to build something because it's going to actually stay there now. And they fixed another error where the environment wasn't always cooperating with the house you're building. So they added a bulldoze feature to kind of level things out and remove things that were kind of getting in the way of your house. So, that's a big change. A lot of people were complaining about that. So, there's been a lot of... what I'm trying to say is there's been a lot of positive changes to the game. They're going to have another patch most likely before the end of the year. And then in 2019, we're actually going to get new content. They're going to open up the vaults. Those are going to be essentially dungeon-type experiences, from what my understanding is.
Yeah.
So, not that I'm trying to defend go on my way to defend the game. I think it's a good game, but it's ultimately a flawed game. But I guess one kind of the beauty of an online game is that it does have the ability to get better. One of my favorite games of all time, World of Warcraft, launched in a pretty bad state, and over time it became something much more playable. It takes time to really refine and develop a game.
Yeah, I can even say, so like for instance, even with Destiny, like when Destiny 1 came out, it was just like the hype behind Destiny pretty much died when it first came out because everyone was expecting this big, expansive, like almost Halo experience because it was made by Bungie, but then it just became a vanilla who cares story. And then as the game progressed, like by the Taken King, the game got better, and then you had Destiny 2, which Destiny 2 came out, which then it kind of had its like rise, but then it had it fall because of all the controversies that happened around it, with like the level gouging that would happen, or the not gouging, but
I remember with those circumstances because we both played Destiny 2 to some extent, just to kind of try it out, but yeah, it's. I don't know. These games, you have to understand, nowadays they launch largely as a work in progress. Games like Fortnite even are still considered to be early access to some degree. They're still in beta. PUBG was in beta for how long? Stuff like that. It's just, this is kind of the way of the world now. Sorry if you don't like it. I remember when games used to be released in a fully, 100% ready to ship state, but... this is kind of the reality that we're living in right now. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it's just the way things are.
It is. But we're gonna talk about this now. But like there are games that we talked about Spider-Man. That's pretty much a completely finished game. Like Shadow Colossus and like kind of what we talked about on our last podcast. Almost all of the games that we put on our top 10 list, which was on our last podcast, go look that up. Top 10 games of 2018. Anyway, but a lot of the games that we put on our list were completely finished games.
Yeah, but a lot of those games, bulk of them actually were, of course, single player experiences. They were games that didn't have an online component to them, and there's a difference in terms of I guess the potentiality for things to go wrong essentially in a single player game as compared to a multiplayer experience. So I think I think you're kind of comparing apples to oranges there.
I can see what you mean by that.
And now if you want to argue like with like Fallout as an example, if you want to argue that it never should have been a multiplayer game and the design intent of it doesn't work, I'd probably agree with you there. I think it would have been much better served as a single player experience, which is what Fallout always should have been. But looking at looking at the product that we have right now, like I said, I had fun with it. I see a active effort from the developers to quash bugs and fix the game and fix problems with the game. So like I said, love or hate the concept of it, and I'm someone that's kind of on the fence on the concept of it. I don't think Fallout should be a multiplayer experience.
Yeah.
I have to acknowledge that at least they are trying to fix it. I can't just. I'm not just gonna. I'm sorry. I don't let Metacritic determine which games I love and hate. It comes down to my experience with the game. I had a good time with it.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of people that have a good time with it, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to hate the game, fine. But at least
But it doesn't affect you. You like the game. Like, you're going to enjoy it, whether or not people like it or hate it.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And again, I have my own share of games. I'm pretty sure I brought this up before. Like, people did not like Order 1886. I love that game. I think that Order 1886 has a massive amount of potential. I would love to see the sequel to that game happen. So to at least finish that story, because Order 1886 is a fantastic act one to a story. And we may never get that because people were like, oh, it's too short. Oh, there's too many cinematics. Oh, the cover system was people were so mad about this single player game.
Oh yeah, no, I still remember that big controversy with it. And I really, really wanted to like that game. I really did. Mm-hmm. I liked the setting. I liked the the style of it. I really wanted to like that game. Ultimately, I didn't. But I do. I like that you found good in it. You found things that you liked about it. I guess the takeaway here, if there's a moral to this, is you don't have to love or hate a game just because of what
everyone else says.
The cultural
social zeitgeist.
Yeah, it has ruled on it. I mean, you can just have an opinion on it. I guess the important thing is be able to, I guess, you want to be able to at least justify it. You don't want to just be like, oh, well, I like it just because I like this, or whatever. I can give reasons why, I think, Fallout is fun.
Yeah, you're not being a Fallout fanboy going, oh my God, Fallout 76 is so good because I love Fallout. You're justifying it.
Exactly. Yeah. And I will say it, and I've said it before. I think of the modern Fallouts post Fallout 3, this is probably the worst one that they've released. Even worse than Fallout 4. And but still, I like I said, I'd rather play a below average Fallout game than the vast majority of other games you see nowadays.
Yeah, I get you. But let's go ahead and move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
The next, this is my last piece of news. This is actually very recent. But players can now buy gold in Red Dead Online with real money. So this has now gone active. This is coming also from IGN, but also from Rockstar, just announcing that this has gone live. Rockstar has now released microtransactions in Red Dead Online, which comes in the form of gold bars. There are 6 different bundles of gold bars available to players for players to purchase, going from $4.99 USD to $99.99 USD, so pretty much $5 to $100. Rockstar is offering a one-time deal of 25 gold bars for $4.99, $5, which is half of the regular price of the $9.99, $10, which is the standard for the 25 gold bars. The most expensive tier is 350 gold bars at the $99.99 price, pretty much for $100. In Red Dead Online, these gold bars can be used to buy customizations for a variety of different items, from clothing for your character to visual gun upgrades and camp accessories. These gold bars have no impact on game progression for any players. So it's all cosmetic. That's all that it is.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, of course, they were bound to have them in this game because look how successful.
Look at GTA 5.
Yeah,
GTA
look how successful
Online.
it was in there, and I think if we're like I said, whether you love them or hate them, microtransactions are kind of here to stay. I think for a while because it's there's this idea of games as a service now and prolonging the life of the game, and the initial they want to make more money just after the initial sale. So I guess I don't really see anything necessarily inherently evil in these things. I guess it's kind of a whatever to me. I guess the criteria I always like to see is at least have these microtransactions be just cosmetic, which they did,
and
have a way for players to earn, the special currency
Yeah.
in the game through natural progression.
Yep.
Which actually Fallout 76 does that, by the way. There's a microtransaction system in there. It's cosmetic only, at least for now. And you can earn the special currency in that game through doing in-game challenges.
Yeah. No, I mean, like,
which I'm assuming Red Dead has a way to earn gold bars.
I hope so.
I don't know. I'm not as familiar with Rockstar games.
I hope, again, I've only played, Red Dead 2 single player, so I haven't really played the online. But I'm not a fan of microtransactions personally, but I get it. I understand why they exist, and really, there's no way you can fight it anymore. The most popular game in the world is Fortnite. That game is free. That game makes more money than any of the other video games only because of its cosmetic, V-Bucks. Like, that game is free, but it makes billions of dollars it makes millions of dollars within months, and they make billions of dollars within a year, if not more. And the whole reason is because of their way of how, you spend real life money to get V-Bucks to get cosmetic stuff for your character. So, I mean, microtransactions are here to stay. I'm not a fan of it, but if microtransactions do have to exist, I'd rather have be like in this way, as in cosmetic, as in it doesn't affect progress, it doesn't make you better at the game. These are things that you do not have to buy. You can if you want, but it doesn't make you better at the game than what you're already doing. Does that make any sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, like I said, they're here.
Yeah. So, do you have anything else for me, Spector?
No. I mean, it's kind of that 2018 kind of blew its wad now. I mean, it's there's not really much else to say. I mean, I'm looking forward to next year. I know we're gonna have a video soon about kind of what we're looking forward to. But yeah, I'm kind of ready to wrap this year up and move on. I mean, it wasn't a bad year at all. I mean, we had a fantastic reboot to a franchise of God of War.
Mm-hmm. We got some amazing remasters.
We have some more on the horizon as well too for 2019. Yeah, I mean, not a bad year.
Yeah,
things considered.
Honestly, this is a fantastic year in my opinion. Do you have any news for us, Spector? Or?
No, I think you kind of covered the highlights. Really.
All right, sweet. Well then, let's go on to our main topic. So, the Game Awards happened about a week or so ago from the time of recording. And we have streamed it, and if you want to go ahead and watch it, the video is up on our YouTube. If you haven't seen it, Brotherhood of Geeks on YouTube.
Well, you streamed it.
Well,
I was there in, we'll say, in spirit.
Yeah, there you go. I know. Don't worry. I'm aware. But yes, it has been streamed, and it is up on YouTube. So if you want to watch me react and talk about the Game Awards, please go ahead and we'll put a link in the video description down there. But I want to kind of talk about the Game Awards, what our reactions were, what we thought, kind of delve deeper into it. Outside of after it is now passed, the raw reactions are kind of out of it. Now we can kind of like delve into it and go, okay, what do we actually think? Are we actually excited for it? So on and so forth. You get my point.
Exactly. Yeah.
So let's go. We'll kind of go through kind of how it began, kind of some of the big moments, some of the things. So first and foremost, Jeff Keighley introduces the heads of pretty much the big three. Sean Layden, the head of North America PlayStation. Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox North America. And, oh God, why am I missing his name?
You mean Reggie?
Reggie, yeah, Reggie.
Good God, man.
I don't know what's going on with my brain today. I don't know.
Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Jesus.
This is my body, Reggie! My body's Reggie! There you go. But yes, Reggie Fils-Aimé.
If we in some world where we ever meet him in real life, let me do the talking.
Oh, okay.
Please.
Nah.
Because you're just gonna
my body's Reggie!
Yeah, you're gonna walk up to me, you're gonna say that, and you're gonna recite the memes, but you're gonna be like, I can't remember your fucking name. It's like.
Oh, God. But anyway, yeah, so it was Sean Layden, Philip Spencer, and Reggie Fils-Aimé, representing PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo, respectively. And I love that. They came out and kind of started up the whole Game Awards, and I thought that was absolutely fantastic. Kind of seeing these, like, battling, like, mind you, like, I'm pretty sure that these guys are like, huh, this will be fun for us, but, like, for the fans, like, the whole console war, you know, like, seeing these three is very, very good. You understand what you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like the optics on it. I mean, it was interesting to see all three of them out there like that, and it's
because you're not used to that. You're used to kind of like Sean Layden, like with all the PlayStation and all of its stuff, and then Xbox and with Phil Spencer at.
In a weird way though, I feel like I mean, I guess not in a weird way, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I feel like we're not really in an era of a console war anymore. I think that was much more prominent the previous generation when there was more of a competition. You know, I mean, because Sony's been the clear front runner from the start. You know, it's selling more than double Xbox
2 to
and everything.
1
Yeah,
the Xbox.
Nintendo really didn't even have a horse in the race for a while. I mean, with the Wii U, being the lowest selling console it's ever had, aside from the Virtual Boy.
The Virtual Boy? I thought that the Wii U like.
I said the lowest selling console aside from the Virtual Boy.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, did the Virtual Boy sell more than the Wii U?
No.
Okay.
I think the Virtual Boy ended up with maybe like 5 million sold at total. But Wii U is like maybe somewhere in the teens.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is pathetic for a mainline console. Mm-hmm, especially coming after the Wii, which was over 100 million.
Oh yeah. Just the printed money.
Yeah, and the Switch is already far surpassed. It's in somewhere in the 20 millions right now.
Love the Switch.
but yeah, so I like that aspect of it, but I think we're kind of in a not really in a console war era right now.
Yeah,
not like it was last year.
I mean, the whole thing is with with Fortnite, everyone wants to play with each other on different systems. Whether it's like that's why like now you can play Fortnite whether you're on PlayStation or Xbox or Switch or whatever. So I like that. I think that was great. So you kind of had going on with the Game Awards. There were some really big announcements. Some of them I was actually very excited for. One of them I am very happy about is they announced Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, the Black Order, which is only on the Switch. And my reaction to that, I couldn't believe that. I love Ultimate Alliance. I played Ultimate Alliance when Ultimate Alliance 1 when it was on the original Xbox and PS2, and then I also got those on the PS3, and then I played Ultimate Alliance 2 on the PS3. Oh, it's so fun. I love those games.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised to see a follow-up to that, but I guess it was strange to see it as a Switch exclusive.
Yeah, it's a Switch exclusive. It might be one of those things where, so you know why Bayonetta 2 exists, right? Or
because there's perverts that like to...
Shut up! Okay, fine. Shut up, Spector. I don't care. No, the reason why Bayonetta 2...
If you want a perverted Devil May Cry.
Shut up! The reason why Bayonetta 2 pretty much existed is that Nintendo pretty much gave money to Platinum and go, hey, go ahead and make a sequel for Bayonetta. Without Nintendo, Bayonetta 2 would never exist. So that's why we got a Bayonetta 2, and I think that's why this is an exclusive, is Team Ninja is the one developing this. And it's being published by Nintendo, so it's probably under this, in the same guise as, Nintendo went to Team Ninja and went, hey, here's a boatload of money. Or it might be how Marvel Studios, how their video game division, how they're kind of like, here's different contracts, here's different heroes, go ahead and make a video game for us. Like how Marvel Spider-Man was published by Sony for PlayStation. That's why it's an exclusive. Here's another Marvel game that I'm excited about, and it's only published by Nintendo. I think that might be the way that Marvel Interactive is kind of going, is that they're gonna give here's a franchise, here's a hero or whatever to a publisher, and they go, here, make this, and then it will only be on Spider-Man the PlayStation. Now we have Ultimate Alliance on Nintendo.
I mean, it's definitely big news for it. I mean, it's Marvel is still huge right now. It draws more attention to the system, which it's already an extremely well-selling system.
Yeah.
So, it's good news for Nintendo. Not my cup of tea personally. Like I said, I'm not into superheroes, but yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm extremely excited. I can't wait for that thing. And I never thought I would see Ultimate Alliance 3. I honestly never thought I would.
One thing
see
I'll
it.
say about we're kind of diving into all these announcements is like this is one element I don't like about the Game Awards is this parade of different announcements for different games. I like having a couple. I mean, I think that's fine to have like one or two teasers here and there. That's fine. It brings some more attention to it. But the whole thing just feels like this extended advertisement and advert. It's almost like a mini E3 type of thing. It's like, well, it's like, do you want to be an award show or do you want to be a advertisement? I mean, kind of make up your mind, I guess. I mean, we're supposed to be celebrating the games that are, that came out this year and talking about, and here's another point I can tie into that. We had several categories that Keeley basically just ran through.
It was pretty much
at a runner's pace. So it was there was multiple categories where they didn't even show the games. They just were like, okay, here's the award for blah blah blah.
So
and it's like, I mean, if you're just gonna run through it like that and get like it's an afterthought, why even have it that award category? Just eliminate the awards, streamline the show, and make half of it about the announcements, make half of it about the awards. Then don't try to be this weird.
I can see where you're coming from, because yes, during the pre-show on the stream, a lot of it was a lot of esports stuff. It was best esports coach, best esports team, best esports event. All of these were on the pre-show, and
let me say that too. The esports thing, I think that's kind of weird, and it's how can I describe it? It's out of place in this sort.
Why do you say that? Because I would disagree with you on that.
It doesn't seem like it doesn't belong. It's
why?
It's a non sequitur because like I said, this is supposed to be about the Game Awards. It's supposed to be about the games themselves. It'd be like if we were watching. Imagine we lived in a world where the Oscars were respectable and you actually watched the Oscars.
Oh my God!
But so imagine the Oscars were still it was back in the '90s and they were still good.
Okay.
And they had a whole bunch of awards just for fans of movies, best critic awards and all this weird stuff, or best fan club for a movie, or whatever.
Okay.
It just seems kind of weird. We're supposed to be celebrating the art, the media itself. I guess maybe have one throwaway category is fine, but it just seems why have this, and of course we're gonna have to talk eventually about.
We'll get there.
Yeah, okay.
We'll get there, but
doesn't it seem a little weird? Shouldn't we just be talking about games?
For me, I think esports is important. I think there were too many of them. I esports coach, esports host. There's ones that I'm the one that I'm why is the best esports moment, which was Cloud9 comeback win in triple OT versus FaZe. Okay, and mind you, people who watch esports, they might be hype for them, but I don't. Some of these esports ones, esports team should be there. Esports player, yes. Be best esports game. That's definitely worth it, because the competitiveness of video games is important, because that's another faction of fans. That's another faction of people that there are people who make video games for the competitive scene. Again, Dota 2 is an old game, but that has been updated I don't even know how many times. So along with League of Legends and CS:GO, and so on and so forth. Fortnite is just a competitive game. This game, even though everyone plays it, Fortnite is technically a competitive game. It's an online game where you were playing against people.
Yeah, I guess. I guess I just maybe it's the old man in me. I just don't see the appeal of esports. I mean, I mean, sure. I mean, you can have fun watching, watching Twitch and watching, people play a game for a while. But I mean, I guess I don't understand the crowd that really gets into it and roots for a team and stuff like that. It's for me, it's I'd rather just play the game and try to be competitive myself. I mean, no, I guess I don't want to sit there and be a cheerleader for people. I guess I don't know. It always seemed weird for me, especially for video games. It's one thing I guess to be a fan of you and I are obviously never going to be playing for the Lakers or something.
Yeah.
I guess I can understand rooting for a football team or something like that, because I mean it's you're not going to ever be competitive in that. A normal person never could be, but for an esport I mean, yes, you could be pretty easily actually if you put enough time and dedication to it. I guess it's not. I don't see it as like a special skill.
I don't.
I mean, like, yeah, some people are.
I don't know. I disagree with you on that because I think, like, I can see where you're like, oh, I don't want to go ahead and be competitive in a video game. These guys like spend their lives, these guys are playing. Mind you, they're playing for massive amount of money, tens of thousands of dollars. But like, these guys spend their lives like honing in on their craft and being very, very good at what they do. So. And we'll get back into this later.
It just seems kind of goofy to me. Like it seems like okay, that's fine. I don't know. I don't see this something to be like. I don't know. It just seems weird to me.
I get you.
But okay, but like I think we can we at least agree that we need to have all these categories in a fucking game awards show.
I mean, I think there were too many esports categories. I think you could, like as I said, best team, best player, best game. I don't know why event was there. I don't know why there was an esports moment.
I mean, maybe have like one award for it, but don't have like 15, especially when you're rattling.
When they're just on the pre-show and you're just going to go, okay, here's this one, here's this one, here's this one, here's this one. I get, yeah.
Yeah. As soon as they start talking about esports, I immediately tune it out and I like open a tab for a different screen. It's just like, okay, I'll come back later.
Okay.
Whatever.
But yeah, let's move on. So Ubisoft next reveal. Now, mind you, pretty much days before the Game Awards, there was a small little trailer, almost less than a minute, of pretty much like the destroyed remnants of Hope County from Far Cry 5. And they said, let's tune into the Game Awards. And they showed the date. And at the Game Awards, they have announced their next game. It's called Far Cry New Dawn, which continues the events that take place after Far Cry 5. It takes place 17 years after the ending of Far Cry 5, where pretty much the nukes have destroyed all of Hope County. But instead of it being like the post-apocalyptic where it's all grays and browns and stuff, it's after the cloud storm. It's after everything happened and like life has kind of started to come back, and that's why it's like there's a lot of purple like in the concept art picture for Far Cry New Dawn. There's a lot of purples and greens. It's very colorful, which story-wise I don't know. I don't know because it's the main.
Well, the most important part is we can finally play as a woman. Like now, it will actually be a good game. Whereas before, it couldn't be a good game because you couldn't play as a woman.
I don't.
Like, that's my measure of a good game.
The antagonists are these two. Like you're still playing in first person. I believe you. I don't know if you're going to still be the sheriff from Far Cry 5 or if you play as a new person.
Obviously, a sexist game.
What the? Shut up, Spector! You're the worst.
I don't know. I like I said, I've never been a Far Cry fan. As soon as this one came on, like I said, I think I opened another tab, and it's just like, I'm sorry. I know you like Far Cry more.
I like Far Cry. I do like. I like Far Cry, but when I saw this, I was like, huh, okay, not bad.
I'm waiting for them to take another maybe a real risk and do something like another Blood Dragon, like something kind of off the wall like that. Mm-hmm. Have some more fun with it.
Mind you,
it's like this looks like. I mean, like what's remarkable about this? I mean, it just looks like. I mean, we're already getting like another kind of stylized punk post-apocalyptic game next year, anyways, with Rage 2. Mm-hmm. It's like why do we need? It's just.
I get you.
It seems kind of weird.
I get you
to pick it.
I get you. I mean, like for me, even for me, I'm like, okay. I like Far Cry because of its gameplay, but I'm like, okay. It's not enough.
It didn't tickle your fancy, so yeah.
It didn't make me go, oh, I need it now. Like it was just, oh, okay. Next, these are kind of a lot of the like reveals. Supergiant's new game is called Hades, and it's right now in early access, which kind of looks like a Diablo style kind of game. Where
I played Bastion, that was one of their previous games. I thought it was kind of pretentious and dull. So yeah, I can't say I'm really looking forward to this. So
it looks interesting. That's the most that I could say to it. It looks like a different kind of Diablo. That's about it. They showed more of Anthem, which
Destiny 3 is looking great.
I know. Oh man, I don't know how I feel about Anthem. I really don't.
I
It looks cool, but
it doesn't look cool. It doesn't look cool at all. It looks so generic and dull and lifeless. And, what's interesting about it?
I get to be in like a mech suit and fly around, and I get to control lightning. Like it looks cool, but I get it because I'm like, what's this story? What do you mean? BioWare is so good with their stories, but I'm like, I still don't get where this is coming from and what is this game about? And that's kind of the trailer they showed was more of a story trailer, and I'm still going like, okay, this is.
And it was one of those like it's pulling a Destiny where the story takes itself incredibly seriously. And I think that's kind of a bad direction almost to go in for this game. It's just like, oh, please. But yeah, no, I think it looks like hot garbage. It's like I said, I've boycotted EA at this point. BioWare it shouldn't even be called BioWare anymore. It's everyone that made BioWare what it is long gone. Mm-hmm. The BioWare of back in the original Mass Effect and Old Republic.
Coder,
yeah, it's long gone. It's dead and buried. Move on with your life. It's a hollow shell that's shambling its way around.
I don't know how I feel about this game. Also, they, I believe, let's see, they went ahead and there was like a teaser trailer. This is a little bit later, but apparently this is the. They teased the next Dragon Age 4. This is definitely later in the show.
Which, based on the...
I had no idea that was Dragon Age until, I was told. I'm like,
I think it's going to be the next Battlefield 5. I think it's going to be a total bomb. They've already... The lead director, whose name escapes me, but he's already come out and he's been very active on Twitter saying that this is going to be a very political game.
Oh, God.
It's going to be very much injected with their
whatever political agenda that EA or
the political agenda we all know that they have.
Oh, God.
And it's going to be filled with that. It's going to be another case of that. What I like to call get woke, go broke. God. It's just what happened to Battlefield 5. It's happened to a lot of games. It's going to happen to Dragon Age. That game is going to flop.
Look, I don't have a problem with a game taking a political stance, but I do agree when it becomes the reason why I'm not a fan of Battlefield 5, or at least with what they're doing with it, is that if you say DLC, it gets censored, but if you say free DLC, it doesn't. You can't white man, black man. They'll go ahead and censor out white instead of the whole censoring that they're doing on in the chat that happened in the beta before Battlefield 5 came out. There are no swastikas on the Nazis. Mind you, this is a World War II. This game takes place in World War II, so they're not showing that because Battlefield is meant to be realistic to its time.
It's kind of ironic that we have games like Wolfenstein, which don't get me started on the problems with Wolfenstein, but at least to Wolfenstein's credit, at least you have dozens of Nazis running around with prominent swastikas on their arms. It's kind of funny that the fan fiction World War II game is almost more real to life in some ways than the actual World War II game.
I'm not it's in that time period. If you don't want to do that, then choose a different time period. They chose to do World War II. That's where they Battlefield 5 wanted to go back to. They wanted to do a game in World War II, and that's kind of that's part of the history. You can't just go ahead and wipe away history. So
I'm sure I haven't played the game. I refuse to play the game. I boycotted it, but I'm sure I put money on this. That
Jesus.
Even without the swastikas in, I'm sure that there's plenty of prominently featured hammer and sickles in there.
The Cold War,
a little thing called the Soviet Union.
The Soviet Union. There you
go. But I'm sure there's plenty of those in there, and they were just as bad as the Nazis, if not much worse. So I'm sure.
Again, I don't want to go ahead and get too political in here, but it's I have no idea, but I didn't even know that was Dragon Age 4 until I was told after.
But yeah, so I'm predicting that will be a major flop.
Yeah.
But moving on to a game we like.
Yes. They went ahead. Oh, this was great. So this was actually shown IGN and a few other big name game publishers out there got mailed in a box. It was these dice, and on it, it was like pretty much a dice that you would hang on your mirror.
I saw that, the fuzzy
orange dice.
Yeah.
One of the dice had 6s.
I kind of want those.
I know. One of the dice.
We're checking eBay right now.
Oh, God. Anyway, one of the dice had 6s, pretty much all the way around. Every side had a 6 on them. And then the other dice was a normal 6-sided die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, damn it. They're not. You telling me there's not like one game journalist out there that's like behind on their rent money and.
Shut up!
Come on.
Holy crap!
Put it on eBay.
Shut up, Spector. You're the worst. You're the absolute worst.
The one time they have ethics.
Shut up, Spector!
They won't put it in reviews to resell
I'm so done with you.
The one time.
Shut up, Spector. These dice, and what happens is, so the one that had 6s was just 6, and then if you added up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it equaled 21. And everyone was going like, is that the launch date? So then what happened is that at the Game Awards, Crash shows, like the normal Crash, like the Crash Bandicoot mascot, he shows up and is like, hey, I went ahead and got you this box right here, and had like the question mark and everything, and Jeff Keighley goes, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and open it. And he opens it, and it's the freaking trophy from Crash Team Racing. And then they show the trailer for it, and I'm like, oh my God, yes!
It was a great performance. He had to actually feign emotion and everything.
Shut up, Spector! Shut up!
I mean, he almost looked human. But,
done with you, Spector.
But yeah, no, I mean, the game looks fantastic.
Oh.
I can't wait.
And this is being developed by Beanox. Beanox is the one developing this game.
What the fuck did they make?
They've made the Spider-Man games before. Now.
Oh, God, you just sapped all my enthusiasm.
Yeah!
Is there anything you can't ruin?
No, that's you ruin everything.
But yeah, but like I said,
anyway.
you can't ruin my fun there. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, this game looks so good.
Next game, I'm cautiously optimistic about.
Yeah, this is the next announcement.
The Outer Worlds.
I don't know about this game.
What do you mean you don't know about this?
I mean, again, like, it looks cool. I need more information. I'm not down on this game at all. It looks cool, and the trailer for it was interesting, but I have no idea what, like, the Outer Worlds. I don't know.
It looks like just like a sci-fi RPG and kind of in the Fallout style. I mean, what more?
I mean, I know you love that stuff.
I mean,
I know you love that stuff. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I just, like, again, for me, story is what.
I'd like to see more of it too. I agree with you there. I want to see.
I'm not saying I'm down on it because it does look cool. It does have its own, like, art style. It definitely, like, it looks like a Fallout in space, but, like, I don't want that to be Fallout. You understand? Like, I don't want that to be Fallout in space. I want it to be its own thing. Because you get what I mean, Spector?
I understand what you're saying.
Like, that's why I'm like, I don't know. I think I need more. I need more than just that. Because it just looks like Fallout in space. That's all I'm seeing. Which, if that's the case, that's not a bad thing. Because Obsidian is very good at their job and making their games. But I don't know. I need more. I need more in order for me to really get behind this game. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I'd like to see some more about it. Let's see. Next, we had The Last Campfire.
Yes, The Last Campfire made by Hello Games. Now that kind of...
most well known for their broken promises. And
now that No Man's Sky is...
Incredible disappointment.
Okay. Now that No Man's Sky has pretty much become a finished game, I know it's taken a long time. It's a Hello Games short, so this is kind of an indie game. So maybe like this is kind of a few developers from the Hello Games like company making The Last Campfire, which it looks different. It looks definitely very different. Like,
okay.
I know you're like, I don't care.
Okay.
I care about nothing. I don't care.
I care about this next thing because this was pretty.
Okay, so
pretty revolting.
Okay, so we got to go ahead and talk about this. So apparently, there's always one thing that happens at the Game Awards. One person. Last year, it was the game director from A Way Out, where he pretty much sounded like he was drunk. I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure he was drunk last year, and he said, F the Oscars, and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, he looked like he was drunk. Remember?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Year?
Yeah, that was, I remember that.
And now, Sonic Fox, who... He is okay. So
no one had ever heard of before this.
No. Sonic Fox won Best Esports Player. I've actually known him because I follow fighting games here and there, and he won Best.
I have a comment I could make, but I think I'll choose not. You have to remember I'm pulling a lot of my punches.
I don't know what you mean, Spector, but okay.
Something about fighting games.
Oh, okay.
The trends I notice about them.
Oh, okay. Well, then you can go ahead and just be there, Spector. But anyway, so Sonic Fox wins Best Esports Player. And
what the hell does that even mean?
Best Esports Player?
Yeah, like best at what? Best wins the most awards, most likable, or
it's. I mean, I guess you could probably say that. Like, I mean, he is one of the best fighting game players. Period. He is ridiculously good at fighting games. Like, for instance, how I found out about Sonic Fox is that in Injustice, when Injustice first came out, there was a massive tournament for it. The Flash is my favorite character in that game. The Flash in Injustice 2 is a low-tier character when you're talking about in fighting games. And Sonic Fox chose the Flash to pretty much win the whole thing, and then won. So... that I was absolutely surprised where this is a player showing that a low tier dude can win in a highly competitive scene in EVO.
It was inspirational to you.
Sure. Yeah. I guess. Look, so Sonic Fox...
Can we start talking about what he said?
Yeah, I was about to get into. So Sonic Fox comes out, and mind you, he's in a outfit. He's pretty much in an outfit where he has a wolf head on.
He's in a fursuit.
Pretty much. And that, mind you, that is his gimmick. He fights wearing that, and then he only takes it off when he's playing. He takes off the mask or the helmet when he's playing his fighting games, but that's how he dresses like when he goes to fight tournaments. He goes ahead and says that he's a furry, that he's gay, that he's black, and everything that Republicans hate. Like, throughout, that was like something that he said throughout in his segment. He kind of like just like he threw that last part in as like he kind of just quickly said that.
Immediately, everyone's eyes rolled to
the
the back of their head like The Exorcist. You know?
Oh God! Like when this happened, I didn't even catch it when during the stream when it was first happening. I didn't even catch it. I was like, oh, okay. And then like after seeing this again and kind of going back, I'm like, oh God. Oh,
it's like I say, it's so the levels of cringe we're talking about here are just off the charts. It is, I mean, it's and the worst part about it was, I mean, the guy goes up there in the fursuit. It's enough of a weirdo as it is. It's like whatever. Okay, it's for his gimmick. It's an award that shouldn't even be a fucking award. Whatever, fine. We'll just let that all go. But he actually, for the first 30 seconds or so, he's talking about this story of, you know, blah blah blah. But so, like, it was actually like a wholesome little thing.
Yeah.
And then he goes like full tilt, you know, into the SJW skid, and you know the NPC programming kicks in, and it's like, go ahead.
Yeah,
you want to say something? Go ahead.
So yes. So he begins off his speech, and like he's actually just, he doesn't know what to do. He never expected that he was going to win the award, and then he's just kind of overcome with emotion, and then he's telling the story about how one of his friends is in the hospital or whatever, and he said, I'm going to win this tournament, I'm going to use all this fight money to pay your hospital bills. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And then he does go on to like saying that like he wants to shout out like, you know, the people of the LGBTQ plus community, which fine. But then it continues going on, and like
How many letters are they going to add to that now?
I don't.
It's LGBTQ plus now.
I don't know. I don't know. Look, I have nothing. I have
It's
no.
going to be LGBT, LMNOP,
Look,
QRS.
Okay, Spector, you can stop now. Look, I have no problem with.
Like,
I have no problem with him going out and saying like, yes, I'm gay. Yes, I'm a furry. Like, that's fine. I'm glad. But the whole thing where he says, I'm gay, black, a furry, pretty much everything a Republican hates, and the best esports player of the year, I guess. Like, that whole sentence, especially, like, if you said, I'm gay, black, and a furry, and the best esports player, fine, whatever. Awesome. That you are black, you're gay, okay, you are furry because look at you, you're wearing a furry suit. Like, that's fine. Good for you. Awesome. I don't understand why he threw that little jab there. It doesn't. I'm just like that didn't need to be there, and it felt.
And the ironic thing about that statement is like he puts the only thing that really makes him, I guess, notable or interesting. He puts it like as the last thing he says. He's a known esports player. Like, who cares if he's gay? Who cares if he's black? Who cares if he's a furry? Who cares if he hates Republicans? Nobody cares about any of that. Nobody. I mean, I don't know what world he lives in where he thinks. End of the day, nobody really cares about that stuff. Nobody cares about you. You know, as a.
I mean, people care, but like.
We care from a perspective that you're a lol cow and you're funny to watch. Just by how cringe-inducing you are, you know, there's that aspect of it, but it's like nobody cares about these things. It's like what planet do you live in? What year do you live in? I mean, it's like,
look for me. I'm fine with all that. It's just you didn't need to put a political spin on it. That's all I'm saying. I'm happy that like awesome, you're gay, sweet, you're black, awesome, you're a furry. Awesome, that's great. I'm happy for you. That's great. But that political spin, you didn't need to do that. I'm really happy for Sonic Fox. I'm glad that he won best esports player. But man, I'm like, ugh.
You know what? It screams attention whore. It screams like, look at me, pay attention to me. It's like I said, nobody cares about these things. Like, what does it matter? Like, does it change anything? I mean, who cares about all that stuff? It was so cringe inducing. It's just like, oh my god, I wanted them to play music to get him off the stage, just like, you know, do an Oscars thing. But it's just like, man, wow, it's just. Well, I mean, mission accomplished because now he's got fucking attention. We're giving him attention.
I mean,
but
look, no matter what, Sonic Fox is still going to be fantastic at beating people in fighting games. So like. Look, I'm happy for Sonic Fox. I'm glad that he is best esports player. I'm just at this award show. It felt it was a little bit classless. Just that sentence did not need to be there.
It just seems like such a non sequitur. It's like imagine if I was up there accepting an award and then at the very end of it randomly I threw in like I was talking about like, you know, genocide in South Africa or something. It's like, what? Why the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. Why would you bring it? I don't know. What?
Exactly.
I don't.
Exactly.
What
why?
are you doing, Spector?
Exactly. Why would you?
I don't even know why you're bringing it up now.
Exactly. Why? Exactly. Why would you bring it up? That's my point.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be like. What does this have to do with video games?
I get you. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But it definitely was definitely odd. And it was definitely odd. I was definitely after the fact. It definitely threw me off because when it was happening in the moment, I didn't catch
the ironic thing. And let me just finish my thought.
Go ahead.
I know you're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna talk about that, but let me just finish my thought.
That's okay. Go ahead.
The ironic thing is, I think if you go back to the _90s, you could say, from a political perspective standpoint, the Republicans were definitely the ones that were very much more anti-game. In terms of, you know, like, oh, we you know, moral majority, games are evil and everything. Ironically, the biggest threat to games nowadays, and someone that almost became president of the United States, Hillary Clinton, was very actively anti-game and still is to this day. So, I mean, the biggest threat to games isn't really coming from the right wing; it's coming from more the left wing. that's the irony of this is that he's had a. Like I said, I kind of find the irony that it's a little delicious.
I mean, I guess if you want to go ahead and go that route,
I know you don't want to hear that. It's true.
But I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But there is irony in that, though. Do you know who presented the award?
I forgot.
Joe McHale. Joe McHale did some crazy stuff. He even got crap from saying some wild and crazy stuff at the Game Awards. Hence why he said, "I'm surprised you guys invited me back."
Oh, I remember him. Like, didn't he really it was like a couple years back. He really phoned in the performance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yep. That's why he's like, I'm surprised. Like that's
maybe this was some kind of elaborate shitpost, and I just didn't see it. This was they're playing like underwater chess here, and I just didn't understand it. This is I just didn't realize it. Maybe this was some kind of to undermine the legitimacy of this award.
I don't know.
Maybe you're onto something here.
I found that ironically. Oh, Joe McHale! I just realized that. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on. Next, they announced for PlayerUnknown's Battleground is getting a winter map. Hence, winter has arrived. Winter is coming. Which I thought you played PUBG. Played? I forgot you're back to playing Hearthstone. Art developer Wildcard has created. The next one is that the art developer Wildcard has announced a new game called Atlas, and it is a game with like pirates and dragons. And according to them, it's a map 12,000 times the size of an Ark server, and it will be coming to Xbox sometime in 2019. Which okay.
Yeah, just like my enthusiasm is just.
Yep. Ashen. They announced Ashen, which is they kind of talked about it back in 2014. Is now you can buy it right now for the Xbox and PC. So a little exclusive game. Little interesting.
It's a little exclusive game. We already talked about Dragon Age 4.
Yep, Dragon Age 4, which I have no idea. Again, I'm like, what, huh? All right.
Like I said, get woke, go broke. It's gonna fail.
Okay.
I'm predicting it now.
Okay, we'll go with that, Spector. Next, they announced that there's going to be a new Stranger Things game. Stranger Things 3 will be a 16-bit co-op adventure game. So this is Netflix kind of going into the video game aspect.
Not a fan of Stranger Things myself. I mean, it's something you just throw on and. You watch it with your girlfriend.
I mean, fine. You can go ahead and be like that, Spectre, but man, Stranger Things is rad. Oh, it's so good.
It's like remember Barry's the series. Like remember Ghostbusters. Remember Star Wars.
You're not wrong about that though.
Remember this. Remember that. remember when there weren't any cell phones.
Oh my god.
It's like okay, references. Like what's the point of this?
I get there's more to it than just references. There's more to it.
Not really.
That. But anyway, this was great. Oh, this was rad. This is probably oh man, I love this. So, Ed Boon comes out to present best racing / fighting game. If I'm correct, I want to double check this because it was. Looking at it down right now.
Best sports or racing game?
No, sports or racing game. Sorry.
I'm reading it right here.
Yeah, best sports racing game, not fighting game. Sorry, fighting game had its own category. He was about to announce it, but then all of a sudden, there's this big, huge, just like, it breaks the screen. Here's this like harpoon that comes out, lightning starts to strike, and then lightning strikes again, and it shows the dragon symbol from Mortal Kombat, and I'm losing my freaking mind. Oh, this trailer is so freaking sick. It
was a very exciting first half of a trailer, and then because it starts with that great image. It's kind of the surprise announcement and everything. It's really building up, and we see a fight between
Raiden and Scorpion,
and then about halfway through we launch into this weird ghetto rap kind of.
Oh, I love it! I loved it so much.
It's like what?
Oh, I loved it so much. It was so good.
I'm trying to get what could I compare this to? It'd be like if we announced like a new Halo game or whatever, and they started playing like jazz music.
But dude,
it's like what?
But dude, mind you, like for Mortal Kombat 10, they use System of a Down. Texas, wake up! No, wake up!
I'm not saying that was a great musical choice. I wouldn't say I like. I wouldn't say I like System of a Down, but System of a Down is at least nostalgic. I guess you could say that's the most charitable thing I could say about System of a Down. But it felt like a really tone deaf type of trailer.
Nah, dude, like that was rad. I'm so okay with that song choice too. That was rad.
I thought it was way out of place.
That was rad.
Terribly out of place. Not that I'm a Mortal Kombat fan, really, but it's just like it felt way out of place. I'm like, oh my god, like all my interest and excitement is just immediately evaporated at this point.
Well, they went ahead and showed that off. They announced that the game will come out in April, and that they're going to be doing a global like event on January 17th. Which, I want to know what's up with that. They're probably going to show the roster, who's in it. Oh god, I can't wait for Mortal Kombat 11. Looks so freaking good. Oh my god.
Sure.
Next up, the head of Epic Games, they announced that Fortnite will be getting this thing called Risky Reels, which used to be the movie theater complex in Fortnite. Now they got rid of that, and it's called The Block. And what it is that they want people to create their own Fortnite maps in the game. So you have the ability to create Fortnite maps with the creator mode that they announced like weeks ago. So it was about a week before the Game Awards. You can create your own Fortnite map, and then the best ones that Fortnite developers, community players, that kind of stuff, they will decide what is kind of like the best ones. They will throw it on the block, and the block is part of the normal Fortnite map.
I actually think it's kind of an interesting idea. I like I said, I'm not a Fortnite player, but I kind of like the idea of it. It's sort of a way of integrating in kind of custom community content into that. And actually make it relevant by putting it into the game itself like that. So I think it's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
I just wish I cared about the game.
Yeah, no, I get you, but that is an interesting concept. Oh, but man, this announcement, I couldn't even believe this. So. This is right after, actually. So what happens is that Jeff Keighley is kind of like, continuing on with the Game Awards. All of a sudden, everything goes black, the screen goes out, and then all of a sudden there's like this like crackling, and then it's pretty much Joker from Persona 5, and he's kind of like running around. You see all these like stylized stuff, and hear his team talking in the background, going like, what is he doing at the Game Awards? Why is he there? He's there to steal a treasure. What kind of treasure? The greatest treasure of them all. So then you see the take your heart card, but then it spins and it turns into a Super Smash Brothers invitation letter. I couldn't fucking believe it.
You try to make everything sound exciting.
Oh, dude!
I want to have you narrate a colonoscopy at one point. So then all of a sudden the lights went out, and then he came in and he had this doctor, this stylized colon, and then he started he got this Vaseline out, and then it was just it went silent. And
shut up, Flicker! Shut up! Done with you! Done with you!
9 out of 10. I would do it again. I can't wait for next year.
What are you doing? Shut up, Spector!
Colonoscopy too.
What? Shut up! I don't even know. I don't know.
But anyways.
Yeah, so they announced that Joker is going to be the first fighter in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighter Pack.
Disappointed me. I really wanted the Riddler. I'm more of a fan of the Riddler instead of the Joker, but I mean...
From Persona?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, because, no, just kidding with you.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. It's exactly, that's my point, though. Nobody plays Persona, so...
You're gonna get out of my face!
I'm fucking with you.
I haven't played Persona, but man, I couldn't believe... it was more of
five people in the room that played it clapped.
Shut up, Spector! Look... I was more surprised that they even it was not for me personally. It was more about I'm surprised that there's they're putting Persona into Smash Brothers. That's what threw me off way more. me personally, I haven't played Persona myself, but the reason why I got excited is because it was more of like, oh my god, they're putting a Persona character into Smash. It can literally be anyone. That's what threw me off. That's what got me really excited and why I'm like, oh, that's rad.
I guess that's kind of looking at, glass half full. For me, it actually kind of turned me off from even getting the Fighter's Pass. I haven't purchased it yet, and I probably... I mean, I don't know. I need to see a character that I actually want to play as for me to actually get into it. So, yeah, I mean, not starting off on a...
So then who would you like to see then?
It's hard to say at this point because, I mean, everyone's kind of in the game at this point. I mean, they even had freaking Castlevania characters. It's like, what else do you really want that's realistic for Nintendo to have?
Apparently it can be literally anyone.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say at this point. Like, I mean, because it's like, it feels almost like the roster is sort of complete. It's like, who do we really even need to add? I mean, we're adding the freaking Piranha Plant at this point, for Christ's sake.
I get you.
But it's like, yeah, I don't know. Not starting off on a high note. I'm sure we'll see, because I think they're trying to go for like a fan favorite type of thing. I'm sure we'll see who's that character for Super Mario RPG, Gino, whatever.
Yeah,
I can guarantee you we're gonna see that as one of the 5.
I know that they have some spirits from that game from Super Mario RPG.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised to see Waluigi because there's a big vocal.
Oh yeah,
group of people that
watch him be number 5. Watch him be the 5th one.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him as that. It's like, who else at this point is left? I mean, it's like, they kind of have. I mean, this is a good problem to have. I mean, because everyone's in the game. You know, I mean, it's like, but who else is left to throw in the game?
Yep. Just a few other things. They did announce a few other things. There are other games. Just kind of go through the list. The newly games announced was Among the Trees, Atlas, Crash Team Racing, Nitro Fueled, Dragon Age: The Dreadwolf Rises. That's the Dragon Age 4. Far Cry New Dawn, Hades, Journey to the Savage Planet, The Last Campfire, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order, Mortal Kombat 11, The Outer Worlds, The Pathless, Sayonara Wild Hearts, Scavengers, Stranger Things 3 The Game, and Survive Die. We also saw new content for we had updates for previously announced and released games that were shown. There was that trailer from the creator of the Assassin's Creed franchise of Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey, which I had no idea what I had no idea what that trailer was about. I don't even know
what that is.
I have no idea. We got Anthem, Dauntless. We have new content for Dead by Daylight, Devil May Cry 5, the demo you can play on Xbox One, including that rad, sick performance of the Devil Trigger song. Oh, that was sick. I loved it. New content for Fortnite, Forza Horizon 4, Magic the Gathering Arena, which is like the digital card game. PUBG. We saw a trailer for Psychonauts 2, trailer for Rage 2. We had a trailer for the Stanley Parable, which is now coming to consoles, and then
I missed that.
Yeah.
I played Stanley Parable. I actually liked it.
Yeah, that game is now coming to consoles.
Oh, sweet. Well, I have an excuse to talk about it again.
Yay!
Did they give a release date on it?
I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. At least I don't remember, to my knowledge. I don't remember. But yes, it is now coming to consoles. The whole gimmick, the whole trailer was the narrator talking to, I believe it was Stanley, the main character you play as, and it's him talking about how it's coming to consoles.
It's a kind of for that, yeah. I mean, you've played the game, right?
No, I have not.
Oh, it's kind of a fantastic meta kind of game commentary on game design, development, and choice. Mm-hmm. It was pretty fascinating to play.
And then more stuff for Ultimate. But I kind of wanted to go over some of the awards that was given, and then we'll kind of talk about Game of the Year, what they awarded Game of the Year. So of course we had the esports ones. The content creator of the year was Ninja, of course. Oh, I'm not surprised with that. Ninja won content creator of the year this time around. Red Dead Redemption took a ton of categories. I honestly thought they were just gonna everything they were nominated for, they were gonna go ahead and just wipe clean. Red Dead Redemption won Best Audio Design, Best Performance, which was Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan. Excuse me. Red Dead Redemption 2 also won Best Score and slash Music. And then they also won Best Narrative. So I believe that's 4. So
interestingly, they did not win the most important award.
I'm aware. But we'll get there. You got Overcooked 2, who won Best Family Game. You got Into the Breach, won Best Strategy Game. Best Fighting Game was Dragon Ball Fighters, which won Best Role-Playing Game, which surprisingly, this caught me off guard. Mind you, they deserved it, was Monster Hunter World. That won Best Role-Playing Game. Best Action Game was Dead Cells. Best VR Game was Astrobot Rescue Mission. Celeste won both Best Independent Game and Games for Impact. Let's see. Best Art Design was to Return of the Obra Dinn, which that's actually a really cool looking game. Best Ongoing Game is, of course, Fortnite. And then Best Mobile Game was Florence. And yeah. Best Multiplayer Game was Fortnite. Best Sports Racing Game, so the one that won that after Mortal Kombat 11 was actually Forza Horizon 4, which Forza Horizon 4 is a fantastic game. And then, but the big one, the game that won Game of the Year, Best Game Direction, and I believe it was Best Action Adventure Game, was God of War.
Actually, legitimately surprised me. I thought it was just. I thought it was just going to be Red Dead, doubled on the category. Red Dead was the safer choice, because it's multi-platform, it's on everything. Very surprised, and I mean, definitely the game that deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
I would say. I mean, not to throw umbrage at Red Dead, but I think God of War. I mean, like I said, it was really remarkable in terms of how successful it was and how well it turned out to be. I mean, I was like I said, I was legitimately surprised.
Mm-hmm.
That it won.
I mean, like for best game, the one that got Game of the Year definitely took me by surprise, and then also best game direction. Mind you, it was a bunch of 3 of the 5 categories were all PlayStation games. Best game direction was Marvel Spider-Man, Detroit Become Human, and God of War, which are all PlayStation exclusives. The only multi-platform is A Way Out and Red Dead 2. Which that was the only category that A Way Out was nominated in, was Best Game Direction.
Like I said, kind of a interesting choice. I mean, like I said, you think they would just kind of go for their max appeal and just be like, okay, Red Dead and multi-platform games, stuff like that.
Yep, or Marvel Spider-Man, because that's another massive market appeal. But no, it's God of War. God of War took home those 3. That's why I'm man, because God of War, pretty much all the categories that Red Dead was nominated in, God of War was there too. Best audio design, God of War was in. Best performance was Christopher Judge as Kratos. Best score and music, I swear I thought God of War was going to take that one. Best score and music, I thought God of War was going to win that, but nope, Red Dead 2 because of pretty much the sound of the Old West. But yeah. So what do you think about God of War winning Game of the Year? That is the Game of the Year. That is by definition the Game of the Year.
I by their definition.
Well, whatever. Yeah. You get what I mean.
But yeah, no, I like I said, I agree 100%. I was very surprised that they made it through, pulled through, and it won. I think it's well deserved. I actually agree for once. I actually agree with their pick for Game of the Year, which I normally it's normally never the case,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was very, very happy to see that happen. Like I said, very legitimately surprised.
Yeah, I was happily surprised. Even in the stream, I was like, "What? God of War won? What?" I thought it was going to be a clean sweep, and then I'm like, okay, fine. So God of War got Best Game Direction and Best Action Adventure Game. Okay, fine, but the Game of the Year has to go to Red Dead. It has to. There's no way that it's not going to be God of War. It's going to be any of the other ones. But no, it's God of War. Truly deserves it. That is the game that completely deserves it. But I was definitely taken aback because I honestly thought, it was going to be Red Dead because it's Rockstar. And yes, this game is good. Don't get me wrong. But I'm like, it's just going to be them. But nope. God of War won. And what I loved about this year's Game Awards, and maybe they've been doing this for the past few years, but I don't believe so. This is the first time where, or at least to my knowledge, and I could be wrong, where there were I stated in the stream where there are, and even Jeff Keighley said in the pre-show, where there are 65 media outlets around the world that got to nominate the games for each category, and then they also got to vote on who would win in said category. Then the public got to vote for who they wanted to win, who would win in each category, having the nominees thrown in. And then the final outcome would be a vote of both the public and the jury thrown together, and that would be the outcome. And one of the things that Jeff Keighley explained is that why didn't you make this 100% public? Why didn't you just let the fans vote? And it's like, well, if I by doing that, whatever is trending on Twitter or on YouTube or on Twitch or whatever, that could influence who would win. And I don't want that's not something that I would want. I would want the game that actually truly deserves it. So having it be a mix between the public, so the fans, and the video games media deciding together is definitely the best way to go about doing this. Hence,
I can see the point there. It's kind of a balance between the two. So I guess I kind of agree with that. It would just be
that's kind of why I'm like, wow, people like God of War. I honestly thought Red Dead was going to go do that, but I think that because it was that mixture of both the public and the games media, that's why a lot of these choices, I'm like, yep, that makes sense. Yep, yep. Best ongoing game, best narrative, best score, game of the year, best game direction, so on and so forth, blah blah blah. It makes sense why who won those games. I could see that. But yeah. But I'm very happy. But that is kind of our rundown and kind of what we thought of the Game Awards. So we would love to hear what you guys have to say. If you want to go ahead and let us know, a comment below. We always appreciate that. And go ahead and let us know if you guys watched the Game Awards, what you guys thought. We always appreciate that. But yeah. Do you have anything else, Spector?
That's about all I had. Like I said, ultimately, aside from certain elements of the show that I didn't care for the Game Awards.
So final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm giving my final
thoughts. Oh, okay.
Thank you. Yeah, aside from certain things, or we'll call it a thing that we didn't care for in the show. Aside from that, I'm very happy to see God of War pull ahead and take Game of the Year. Very well deserved.
Yep.
Overall, not a terrible show. Like I said, I really wish they would just kind of find a balance between announcements and awards. And
I think it's just more, you would have liked more time to, if this is a award show, give them more time to awards instead of just having it be a glorified E3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, was it just me, or it felt really, really long? Let's trim this up a little bit.
Yeah, but
cut some of these awards that you just kind of flew through, and just cut them completely, and maybe trim down on the esports. Do we need 15 different esports awards? Cut that down.
Yeah, if it's all going to be part of the pre-show, mind you. Surprisingly, the pre-show didn't Normally, when I think of a pre-show, it's none of this matters. But some of the announcements on the pre-show were rad, and some of the games that the winners. So when they got announced, was on the pre-show. Monster Hunter World winning best role-playing game, that was on the pre-show. Mind you, I would have liked to see that on the main show, but the way that they didn't go ahead and go, oh, the pre-show begins at 7:30 and the show begins at 8. No, they said, nope, the Game Awards begin at this time. They begin at 7:30, which was Central Time for us, but whatever.
That just makes me realize the show's even longer, because there's a pre-show and there's the fucking show.
Well, I didn't even realize that it was the pre-show until it started, because you had the clock, the ticker right there.
Let's just, can we trim this down a bit, guys? Come on. A couple of pieces of news actually I wanted to sneak in here at the end. I forgot to bring up during the news segment.
Okay.
Here. We're just gonna tag them in here because it's important stuff. Doom has had its 25th anniversary.
Okay.
So it's in celebration of this, Bethesda has launched what they're calling it's called the Slayers Club.
Okay.
It's a essentially basically an email list at this point you can sign up for as Doom fans. But there is a purpose to sign up for it now. It's like it's free to sign up.
Yeah.
They're promising more extras and cool things that they'll tell us about in the future.
Yep.
But for now, if you sign up, like I said, it's for free. God, I can't fucking talk. But it's free. You sign up, you actually get a skin that can be used for the single player, the multiplayer. It's a zombie-esque Doom Slayer skin.
Ooh, funsies.
It's free skin. Hey, why not?
Hey!
For Doom Eternal, and presumably this is going to be a way for them to kind of announce updates in the game. So
we'll see how that goes.
They're calling this kind of the year of Doom, so it's going to be. I think it strongly hints that we'll probably see Doom Eternal in 2019.
Yep.
So.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
The game that everyone got mad at.
I'm
talking about Fallout 76. Never mind.
We're talking about Doom here. Yeah. Fallout's not involved. Yeah. And another tidbit of news: John Romero, best known as one of the creators of Doom, has actually essentially released, and not really a sequel to the original Doom, but he's actually released a kind of a series of level packs called Sigil. I think there's some websites like Limited Run that's actually giving a physical copy of the game. But it's kind of cool, 25 years later to kind of be added on to the original Doom.
That's it.
So it's just another piece of Doom extra news in there.
Okay.
But yeah, no, Doom Eternal is something we're going to be talking about more in the future. Very, very excited about it.
We're going to be talking about
one of my most anticipated games is one of them
boy.
right there.
Oh, boy.
So I know you don't care about Doom, but...
No, I like Doom. I don't know how I feel. Yeah, Doom Immortal.
What don't you like about Doom?
I like Doom. I'm talking about Doom Doom Eternal. I like Doom. I played the original Doom. Even the
What's wrong with Doom Eternal?
We'll talk about that later.
Are you talking about the controversy nonsense?
I don't know why it needs to be a mobile game. I don't know, but anyway. I don't know why it needs to be a mobile game, but anyway, we'll come back.
Mobile game.
Doom Eternal. Wait. Oh, I'm thinking about Diablo, aren't I?
Yeah.
Well, never mind. Never mind then.
Is a mobile game. What the fuck are you talking about?
Those two games look too similar.
They don't look anything alike. They're totally different genres. They're totally different developers. What the fuck?
Apparently, I am so out of it. I have no idea what's happening anymore. Never mind.
All right, well, let's end the show.
I'm looking forward to Doom Eternal then.
Go home.
Never
You're
mind.
drunk.
Yeah, apparently.
God,
anyway, thank you. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you liked what we did, if you want to go ahead and subscribe to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Press that subscribe button. Also press the bell icon. That way, whenever we put up a video, you know we put up a video. Also, go ahead and like us on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook, which is on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/The Brotherhood of Geeks. And then you can also follow me and the channel on Twitter at Dualshock'd BOG. That's the name of this podcast, BOG. And then we also have a Twitch channel called on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Brotherhood of Geeks. That's where we go ahead and do all of our streaming. Anywhere else, Spector? Anywhere they can go ahead and talk to you?
I have a Twitter, at Spector_0451.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad that I go ahead and mixed up Diablo and Doom.
Which will eventually be my PSN ID once we're allowed to change it.
I hope that goes through. That would definitely be great, but I guess time will tell. But anyway, thank you so much, guys, for watching. I'm Brett J. Rasmussen.
I'm Spector.
And as always, live to play. Play together. We'll see you guys next time.